Hi everybody, this is Mandeep Sharma. In this video or KT session, knowledge transfer session, I will cover Git and GitHub. If you are learning coding, Python, AI or software engineering, you will hear two terms everywhere, which are very common, Git and GitHub. Many beginners think they are the same thing, but they are not. In this video, I will explain what Git is, what GitHub is, key differences between them, how developers use them, and I will show some Git commands that every beginner should know. So let's start this conversation or discussion on Git and GitHub. First thing, what is Git? Git is basically a version control system. Git is a version control system, right? Think of Git like a time machine for your code. Git helps you save versions of your project or projects. It track changes in make into made into those projects. It can undo those mistakes. It can collaborate with the others, right? It work on multiple features safely. So let's say if you are working on project A, it has multiple versions, version 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, final version, latest version, final version, etc. So instead of creating many files or folders, Git tracks everything automatically, right? Clear on Git? Now, next thing is GitHub. So what is GitHub? If you search GitHub, okay, you will go onto this page. Since I already logged in another window, it popped up my profile on GitHub. So what is GitHub? GitHub is a cloud platform, as you clearly see. It is a website, right? Where Git projects are stored online. So if you see um, in my profile, right? So these are my all different projects, right? Or repositories that I saved online into GitHub. So Git is a version control tool, whereas GitHub is a website to host the repositories. Simple analogy is Git is a notebook, right? One notebook, whereas GitHub is a Google Drive. It's a bigger platform, right? Clear? Git manages the code, whereas GitHub it shares the code. Now let's talk about the installation part uh, on GitHub on your local machine, whether Mac operating system or Windows operating system or Linux or anything else. But in this video, I will show you the Git installation on MacBook since I'm using a MacBook operating system. So for that, I will first check to see if a Git is already installed into my machine or not. So I will run that command git --version. So since I already have installed Git previously on my machine, the version is 2.50.1, right? It shows that. If I didn't have installed it already, if I want to install it fresh, what command I will use? Brew install Git. Simple as that. Then I press hit or enter. It will install that. After installing it, and if I want to see the version of it, right, it will show me whatever the version I install in my local machine. It will show up. Cool. Now I want to configure Git. For that I will run two commands, mainly two commands. The first command is set the username. How I will do that? I will do git config --global user dot name, my name here, right? Similarly, I want to add my email, or I want to set my email. For that I will use git configure globally, right? For that --global user email, and I will use my email, right? Okay. And now I want to check the configuration. For that I will run the third command git config, just to make sure if these two configurations are added or not. So I will use a git list. It will show me that list. I added username, I added email, it showed me that, right? Now, next thing is I want to initialize the repository. For that, I will uh, open a VS Code, right? In that VS Code, I will open a folder on my desktop. Let's say create a new folder, and I will write that name. Let's say GitHub basics, right? I created that folder on my desktop, right? And I open that. Okay, yes, I trust this, and I close this welcome window. In that GitHub basics folder, um, right, what I will do, I will open a terminal inside VS Code, right? So let me make it bigger. So in there I will do git init. So I want to initialize git. For that I will write git init inside it. Right now it shows that it initialized it, but it is an empty git repository in my local folder git github basics. Okay, it turns a normal folder into git repository. I want to check the status. For that I will run git status. It says on main branch or on branch main, no commits yet, since I have not added any file yet. Okay, if I would have made any changes to any previous file there, it would show that, the changed files there. Since I have not, it is not showing me anything. Now let's create a folder. Let's say welcome.py. Okay, I created that Python file here. And I want to add that file from that folder in my local machine into git repository. What I will do, I will run this command git add welcome.py. Cool. And I want to add everything. I want to stage, actually I want to stage all the files. Basically for that I will use git add dot means that if I have multiple files, I can add those files, or I can stage all those files all at once instead of writing name of every single file, right? So let's do that. So that staged all my files. Right now I have only one file, welcome.python, welcome.py file, right? And I want to commit that change. So git commit dash m means make. I'm making an initial commit. Git commit dash m initial commit. Okay, it shows that in the main directory of that repository I added one file changed. Okay, nothing is inserted, nothing is deleted in that file. My file is empty, right? And I want to see the log, right? What I have done so far. For that I will run this git log. So I made a commit in the head branch or main branch. I am the author and this is the today's date. And what I made change, what I added, that I added initial commit, right? That shows that commit history. And I can see the same information on a one line by using git log one line. Oops, sorry, I think I made a mistake here. It is actually git log one line. So actually I had an error before, I added a double ll. So this is a standard convention. Git log one line. I want to see my commits in one line. This is that, right? Now I want to add I want to create a repository first on GitHub. So that was part for Git. Now let's create a repository on GitHub. For that, I will go here and I will say new repository and I will give a new name. Git, let's say Git Git basics. Okay. And I'm not making any changes to this since I have only one simple file. Okay. So I created that repository, Git basics. And what it did, it created two links, HTTPS link or SSH link. Mostly, people use HTTPS link. It's a straightforward, right, on Mac machine. And also I have another option, setup in desktop. And if I have a GitHub app on my desktop or desktop app, I can follow this instruction. But for now, I will follow this HTTPS instruction. What I will do copy this link of my repository I just created, and it also shows me that I can create a new repository on the command line. The steps I did here on this platform I can also do on my command line, either in VS Code or in my local terminal. Cool. So I just copy this. I came back to my file on VS Code. So what I will do to add that repository remotely, I will run git remote add origin. Then I will copy that link. Okay. So that repository is added. So it links that local project with my GitHub. Now I want to check the remote. Git remote v. So this is my GitHub repository, right? Ready for fetch or ready for push, right? And basically it is telling me that this is the repository I created, right? And I want to push my code from local machine to GitHub repository on GitHub. For that, I will run this command, git push upload origin main. Origin main mean in the main terminal, I am pushing that changes or file, whatever, right? It upload my code there. For future push, I will just run this command, git push. If I want to add something in my local file or folder and I want to push it, I will run this command. For now, I don't need to run this command because I have not pushed anything, right? Because everything is up to date. Now I want to clone the repository. I want to clone the existing repository, right? For that, I will use git clone, and the repository URL is here, right? I'm cloning that repository into my local machine. Previously, I was pushing my code from local machine to that repository on GitHub, but now I am copying that repository link into my local machine so that I can work locally, right? So next is pull latest changes. So let's say I made changes to this file, right? So let's say I am writing a comment, or simply I am saying print hello, my name is Mandeep Sharma, right? So I run this, save it, right? And I made a change to my code, basically what I'm saying, right? And what I will do git pull, right? Basically on my GitHub, let's say I was saying the opposite, right? Yeah. Let's say if I make any changes to my repository and I want to pull that change, for that I will just use git pull. Cool. Yeah. So right now, if you notice, I am on the main branch. um, go to Git basics, right? I'm on the main branch. It is not a good practice. It is not a good practice to, do pull and push to the main branch by individual contributors. Let's say there are like 10 people working on a project, and every developer, uh, you know working on individual feature development, and they are not supposed to push their changes from the local machines to the main branch. What they would do is to create, um, sub branch. um, you know let's say I'm a developer A. I will create a feature sub branch for the feature, whatever I'm feature developing. uh, you know so if I want to create a branch, right? So what I will do like git branch feature 1, and I want to switch to that branch from the main branch. I will do git switch feature 1. So I'm switched to branch feature 1. Okay, and how many branches I have? I will say git branch. I have two branches, main and feature 1, and I'm on my feature 1 branch. It shows with the star symbol, and feature 1 is shown in green. That means I am on that branch right now. Cool. And if I want to undo the changes made on my Python file, I will do just, to discard those changes, I will run the command git restore filename dot python dot py, right? So in real developer workflow, most of the people or developers use these common commands: git init, git status, git add dot, git commit dash m initial commit, or whatever commit they want to make, then git remote add origin, then the URL link of that GitHub repository, and then for push, they use git push dot u. uh, they want to upload that push, right? Git push dot dash u origin main to the main branch. So this workflow covers most beginner projects. I hope this is helpful, right? Since many viewers may build AI projects, so the recommendation is, for the workflow, the recommendation is get familiar with the Git, GitHub, VS Code, Python, virtual environments, Jupyter, Docker. In closing, in this video, what we learned is Git versus GitHub, why developers use them, the installation process, some essential commands for Git or GitHub, and how to upload the project on GitHub platform. So Git and GitHub are skills that every software engineer, AI engineer, or data scientist should know, right? Thank you for watching.